Yes, we've reworked our models, and we have never said NVIDIA is going to be a bad stock. What we have said is we think that the bigger AI plays, now that NVIDIA, or let's say back 6 months ago when it was near its zenith, we were saying back then, there are companies out there people don't even understand are the most important AI plays and share gainers in the software space and in the embodied AI space, the physical space. Think Tesla, which is robots, energy storage, AI. So we were very much focused on who NVIDIA was enabling. Now we're taking a closer look after this drop. What we are seeing is the hyperscalers themselves are all trying to build out their own chips. NVIDIA still has the lion's share. Even in our model, we battle tested it, dropping it from 80% share in GPUs down to 40% in the next 5 years, and taking its margin structure back down into the 60s, the gross margins from the 70s. We still get a north of 20% compound annual rate of return now. But I think many investors are just asking that question, wait a minute, are they going to lose share? Whether it's to AMD or to their largest customers.
Not Intel.
No, not Intel. But Amazon has Graviton and Trainium. Google has the TPU. Microsoft, Meta, they are evolving their own chips. So this market won't be NVIDIA's alone, but all praise to NVIDIA for the incredible opportunities it has created. It really got the AI revolution going, and we think it's still going to play a mighty role. We do own it in many of our funds.
So NVIDIA to you is still a growth stock?
Yes.
Still a growth stock. Lastly, before we let you go, Tesla. I remember talking to you about Tesla 3 years ago out of my kitchen during the pandemic. So let me reconnect with you on Tesla. Now, sales have come under pressure. Overseas, namely. Some would say it's because Elon Musk has gotten close to the president. Are you still bullish on Tesla given what we have seen with Tesla sales this year?
So obviously, the economy, I think one of the biggest things going on is the global economy is extremely weak. And sure, there are these political considerations, but we're split right down the middle. For every hater, you have someone on the other side. So I have no idea about that. But the two things that are going to happen this year, so this is not 5 years out, mañana, this year, they're going to, in the first half of the year, release their low-cost vehicle. Could be $25,000. No one, except in China, and the Chinese companies are not being allowed in here, but no one in the EV market in the US is going to come close to that. We think that's going to drive demand. The Model Y refresh, I went to go exchange my Model Y, which is on hardware 3, to a new Model Y with hardware 4 for full self-driving perfection. And what I love about Tesla, I go to the showroom and he said, oh, no, you don't buy that now. We're putting out a whole new refresh line, which, by the way, I knew and I don't know what I was thinking, but this is what they're telling customers. That's the right thing to do. So first thing is that low-cost car. I think there's a lot of pent-up demand. The second thing is autonomous. They're launching in Austin in June.
The robo-taxi.
Robo-taxi. Yes, robo-taxi. In the vernacular. So yes, they're launching in June in Austin. They just announced yesterday they'd like to start a ride-hail service in California. The regulators are tougher there. So I now think they're going to start seeding every state. And their FSD, according to our calculations, their robo-taxis will be safer in the fourth quarter than.
Prepare to explore the fascinating realm of stock market news with a unique twist. The financial world is being rocked by the commotion around Nvidia, according to an investor letter. ARK Invest's visionary CEO, Cathie Wood, provided insight into how Nvidia's unquestionably crucial role has been influencing the company's trajectory. She and other investors are optimistic about Nvidia's performance in the months ahead. Let's dispel the mystery surrounding this tech behemoth and examine the insights that could reshape the future of AI investments. Welcome back to the investing tutorial, everyone. So, what implications does this have for Nvidia's stock? Let's explore that. But first, a big thank you to those of you who've stuck with us this far. Creating these videos takes significant effort and dedication, so if you're enjoying the content, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts on Nvidia stock in the comments. Your support truly helps us grow. Now, let's get back to the video.
Bull market cannot coexist parallel and simultaneously. Do you also have any thoughts on that?
Well, I would disagree with the latter altogether. I think innovation is thriving in both countries. It's going to be great. The competition will be great. We're going to both be better because of competition. And in terms of spoiling the AI model for Western companies, we are studying, does the model in China where you bundle the software into the hardware and the hardware is lower cost and it is all lower margin, is that going to disturb some models? Possibly. But if you look at closed source models in terms of performance versus open source models, even with R1, the closed source models are still better and we have this up on our website. What's interesting about open source, so while the closed source performance has been increasing consistently, and we've seen some breakthroughs recently, what you see from open source performance, as we're able to measure it, is the slope of the performance is actually steeper of the performance improvements. So we're very interested to see if open source is going to break into the performance territory that closed source has now, right? So
the jury's still out.
Yeah, the jury's still out. But AI, we think, is an enormous opportunity for both countries.
Quick final question for you. I can't let you go without a macro question. Outlook for the S&P 500 the next 2 quarters. Is it going to remain volatile? Are we going to retest the top, for example?
First of all, I think in the United States, we are in a much weaker economy than most investors, maybe even the Fed, understand. And that's because of what I described earlier, this seizing up by consumers saying, I don't know if I'm going to keep my job. So we think that the economy is going to be weaker, inflation is going to be much lower than many people expect, and that the administration and the Fed are going to have more degrees of freedom in the next 2 quarters than most investors think. And we think that's a recipe. We think the market's discounted all of the uncertainty. I shouldn't say all, you never say that, you never know. But a great deal of the uncertainty. And we think that the next move, and it may have just started, is understanding that this administration, from a deregulation, tax cut, and interest rate point of view, has a lot more freedom than many people now understand.
Right. Well, the bull case is not so much regulation and
deregulation is very big.
And the taxes, right? The issue for consumers is the tariff part of the conversation. And do you think they will be pragmatic in the event, of course, they pull back?
We do think they will be. These are negotiating. This is a negotiation on AI. I'll just end by saying, autonomous mobility, biggest AI project in the world. Most profound application.
As the curtain rises on this financial drama, Cathie Wood highlights Nvidia as the key to ARK's success. With a clever twist, she dubbed Nvidia the go-to picks and shovels play in the field of artificial intelligence, laying the groundwork for an insightful look at the dynamics of the stock market through the analysis of the layers of data. Wood's calculated actions in the face of market turbulence demonstrate how ARK's position on cutting-edge technology is resilient, and the interaction between OpenAI's innovations and market repercussions reveals a wealth of potential for investors interested in the AI revolution. To stay informed about the latest developments from Nvidia and the ever-changing stock market, consider subscribing to our investing tutorial channel. We provide daily updates on significant market shifts and key catalysts, so hit that subscribe button to ensure you never miss crucial information. We'd love to hear your thoughts on Nvidia stock, so please share your opinions in the comments below. Now, let's dive into today's video.
Into the AI data center race. That's according to a new note from Loop after the tech giant's troubles rolling out those promised AI Siri features. Our Deirdre Bosa has more on today's Tech Check on how this might move that narrative forward, Dee.
And by the way, Carl, this, if it expands into something bigger, would be bullish for Nvidia. But Apple's playbook, it's really been about being first, but about being right. And so that has earned them a good amount of patience over the last few years as its mega cap peers were full steam ahead on AI in terms of data centers, their own model building applications. This latest Siri mess, though, it has made clear the cost of waiting. So this new Loop Capital note says Apple is finally making a move in the data center race, a development that could have implications for the AI race at large. Now, the report says Apple's starting relatively small, spending about $1 billion in Nvidia systems, equivalent to about 250 servers, capable of being a much larger LLM cluster. But its entry means that there could be another trillion-dollar player competing for the same high-end chips, energy, and real estate, potentially intensifying GPU shortages and raising AI infrastructure costs at a time when Wall Street, by the way, is growing skeptical of all of this spend without substantial return on investment. Now, this could also signal a shift in Apple's strategy and how it approaches partnerships. Until now, Apple is focused on-device or edge AI. A move into data centers, that would mean more server-side AI processing, suggesting it may be preparing to build its own large language models rather than relying on third parties as it has so far, like OpenAI or Google maybe in the future. Now, in short, this would mark a shakeup in competitive dynamics and AI partnerships right across the industry. That said, guys, this is one report. It doesn't necessarily signal that Apple is going to start shelling out tens of billions of dollars on data centers like Microsoft or Amazon or Meta or Google. The spending has been much, much lower compared to those. What we do know, though, is that the pressure is certainly on. There's no question Apple needs to make a move in AI. Siri is widely seen as one of the biggest opportunity in AI applications. How to get that ROI. It's already native on over 2 billion devices, pushes AI into a new phase of accessibility and engagement, could bring it more to the masses, more features. And guys, we know that there's reportedly someone else now in charge of Siri, Mike Rockwell. It would be plausible to think that we could see a change in strategy coming. Data centers would be a very interesting development.
It would be interesting to see Cook sort of evolve his strategy this late into his tenure. The other thing that I would mention is your bit from Google about quantum made the wires repeatedly overnight and today. And I do wonder, you know, there's a nice chart out of Melius looking at how young people are choosing to go right to AI search rather than just straight Google search and what that might mean for ad dollars down the road.
Right, adding more urgency, right, for these consumer-facing companies like Apple and Google to really get this right, to put the right AI in front of users before a challenger like an OpenAI, which we know obviously is making a ton of progress, kind of eats their lunch. So just all around raising the stakes, and for Google certainly has a similar opportunity to Apple and, you know, further along on the technology side, can it deliver?
Examining how market forces subtly dance amid macro concerns, Wood's long-term vision for AI investments shines brightly. Regardless of the fluctuations in market mood, the persistent appeal of disruptive technology is highlighted by the narrative around Nvidia. Dan Ives, another analyst, has voiced his opinions about Nvidia goods, saying they're out of control and exploding. Don't forget to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your input helps create a more knowledgeable community where we can all learn and grow together in the world of investing. Stay up to date with the latest market trends, insights, and key updates by subscribing to Investing Tutorial. We're here to help you make smarter investment decisions and stay ahead of the curve.
To impress investors, what do you think the market signal is sending you?
I mean, I think it's the wrong sort of take, because I think if you look at underlying demand, I mean, we've talked about it's 15 to 1, and we have a team that's there, and you're seeing demands accelerating. And I think when you look at laying out physical AI, Rubin, autonomous, robotics, I mean, this is essentially Jensen saying it's our world, everyone else paying rent when it comes to AI. And I just think this is a stock that's going to have a 2 in front of it over the next 9, 12 months. And that continues to be the buying opportunity. I think the street is sort of misinterpreting what I believe is just so bullish in terms of the long-term outlook.
Right now it has a 1 in front of it, and it's down by close to 8% for the month of March. And Dan, I think for many people out there, it still hasn't recovered from the DeepSeek revelation of the last 2 months or so. There seems to be some scarring here. What did the CEO do to counter some of those concerns in his address yesterday?
I mean, I think it's really what Jensen's talking about is that every large company, as they're looking, whether it's GM to across enterprises, as they're looking to build out, there's only one chip doing that, and it's NVIDIA. And I think that's something where I agree there is some still scarring from DeepSeek. I continue to view that ultimately that's bullish as the models get cheaper for the longer term sort of AI revolution thesis. But I think you're seeing CapEx accelerate. It's not diminishing. And I think that's something that we'll see as it plays out over earnings. But I think investors just need more and more confidence that there's not cracks, really in this AI thesis. And I think it's actually the opposite.
Dan, let's zoom out. We've been talking today, and John raised this earlier, that something else is going on. When you look beneath the surface of the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ, it really is the high flyers of last year that are leading the way lower and haven't been able to recover even when there's been positive news. We talk about Nvidia and yesterday's surprising reaction to the conference, but also Tesla and how those shares have absolutely been pummeled. Can you understand what's behind some of the shift away from big tech, and in particular, why certain names have gotten so disproportionately beaten up?
Yeah, I think, Lisa, there's three things. I think first, it's a perfect storm. I think it starts off one, you don't know the rules of the game, right? In terms of geopolitical tariffs, especially on the export controls, you're seeing a risk off, I think, globally on U.S. stocks. And I think that's something that we're seeing play out because investors are just worried that you're going to see some sort of cracks when it comes to export controls and tariffs related to chips. Two, I think you are seeing more play like the BABAs. You're seeing that China tech trade. You're starting to see more diversification, worrying about sort of the growth concerns in terms of the macro. And the third, as you said, look, you're not going to have true valuation support here. You need to show the actual growth. And I think as we get into the next few quarters, that's the aha moment. I think similar as we've seen with NVIDIA and Palantir and others. But we're in this sort of gap here where every news is sort of going to be viewed negatively, and you just see such jitters. I think it's probably as nervous as I've seen tech investors.
As this compelling story comes to an end, the focus shifts to NVIDIA's trajectory, which is poised for further growth in the financial skyline. The forecast, while currently low, points to a promising future for NVIDIA, with growth prospects painting a compelling picture for potential investors. Many are eager to ride the wave of innovation and a soon-to-be bullish market with NVIDIA. The stakes are undoubtedly high, but many analysts are optimistic during this AI revolution. What do you think about Cathie Wood's commitment to the IT company? As we traverse the ever-changing terrain of stocks and stories, please share your thoughts. Finally, click on the next movie on your screen to discover what companies like NVIDIA have been up to lately. I hope to see you there.